Have you ever wondered why, even though you eat well, exercise, and do everything right, your legs still feel weaker? Why the stairs seem a little steeper now? Why getting out of a chair takes just a little longer than it used to? Is it simply aging? Or is something else quietly working against you? Here's where it gets surprising. It's not always about what you're not doing. In fact, you might already be doing it without even realizing the harm it's causing. Every day, most seniors make a small but crucial mistake, and they do it with full confidence, believing they're making the right choice, because they've been told their whole lives that fruits are healthy, natural, and good for them. And most fruits are. But here's the hidden truth no one talks about. Not every fruit is suitable for seniors. In fact, some fruits, the ones many of us eat without a second thought every week, can slowly weaken your legs, trigger knee pain, worsen joint inflammation, and make walking more difficult over time. The very fruits marketed as healthy could be quietly sabotaging your mobility, balance, and leg strength. As we age, our bodies change, circulation weakens, metabolism slows, and the foods that once helped us can now begin to hurt us, subtly, silently, especially certain fruits. They may look harmless, they might taste sweet, but inside, they're packed with acids, sugars, and compounds that spike blood sugar, fuel inflammation, and chip away at your leg strength. The worst part? The damage is slow, sneaky, and invisible, until one day you notice a sharp cramp in your calf, persistent pain in your thighs, or strange tightness in your knees after even a short walk. Today, I'm going to reveal the 7 worst fruits seniors over 60 should avoid, especially if you want to protect your legs from pain, weakness, and long-term damage. These fruits may seem innocent, but once you know the truth, you'll never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. So, stay with me until the end. If you value your strength and want to keep your legs stable, strong, and pain-free, this might just be the wake-up call your body has been waiting for. Before we dive in, make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on notifications if you care about your health. Because here, we uncover the truths nobody else will tell you. And I want to hear from you. If this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your voice matters more than you realize. Now, let's get started with the first fruit on the list. It's widely praised for its anti-inflammatory benefits. But for seniors, it could be quietly doing the exact opposite. The first fruit: pineapple. Let's talk about pineapple, the first fruit on our list, and a silent saboteur of your strength. Pineapple grows in warm tropical climates. It's juicy, refreshing, and thanks to a substance called bromelain, it's been praised for years as a natural anti-inflammatory. But here's the twist. While many believe pineapple helps reduce inflammation, it may actually be quietly harming seniors. Pineapple is packed with strong natural acids and sugars, and those sugars aren't as harmless as they seem, especially if you're over 60. Let me explain. As we age, our blood vessels become more fragile and sensitive. They can no longer handle sugar spikes the way they once did. Despite its supposed benefits, pineapple delivers a powerful surge of natural sugar to your bloodstream. What happens next? Blood sugar levels spike rapidly, and that sudden spike can damage the tiny blood vessels that nourish your legs, feet, and muscles. Over time, as circulation weakens, less oxygen reaches your legs. And you know what that leads to: pain, fatigue, swelling, that dull, dragging ache after a short walk, that stiffness in your knees when you stand up, that unexpected ankle pain even after sitting all day. But there's more. Pineapple isn't just sweet, it's also highly acidic. And that acid can irritate your joints, especially if you already struggle with arthritis or chronic inflammation. It acts like gasoline on a fire, fueling the burning sensation in your hips, knees, and ankles. Some even notice their legs feeling unusually heavy after eating pineapple, as if their strength is slowly being drained away. And there's another serious concern. If you're taking certain medications, especially blood thinners, the bromelain in pineapple can interfere, making your medicine either too strong or not strong enough. The most dangerous part? The damage isn't obvious. Pineapple doesn't cause immediate pain. It creeps in silently, weakening your legs little by little, until one day you realize you can't move the way you used to. And the saddest thing is, most seniors have no idea that the very fruit they believe is helping their health might be quietly contributing to the gradual weakness they feel every year. So, what can you do? You don't have to despise pineapple, but you do need to be aware and cautious, especially if you're already dealing with unexplained leg pain, swelling, or stiffness. The harm is subtle but real. Now, if a fruit famous for reducing inflammation can be this harmful to aging legs, what about the next one? It's soft. It's sweet. It's celebrated for boosting muscle power and potassium levels, but it may be deceiving you. The second fruit, bananas. Let's talk about bananas. Bananas, the imposters of muscle health. They're soft, sweet, and rich in potassium. They're praised for giving you energy, preventing cramps, and supporting muscles. But for seniors, the reality is very different. Bananas are loaded with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbs. That means right after eating, your blood sugar spikes, and your body starts to resist insulin. When that happens repeatedly, circulation weakens, inflammation rises, and your legs suffer the consequences. You might feel a dull soreness when you walk or climb stairs, heaviness in your legs after meals, or tightness in your calves that you can't explain. But the story doesn't end there. Bananas also cause your body to retain more fluid, especially if you have heart issues. This fluid retention leads to stiff joints, swollen ankles, and puffiness in your feet. And just like with pineapple, the effects are silent. You believe you're helping your muscles, so you keep eating them. But in reality, bananas could be quietly draining your strength day by day. The worst part? It doesn't happen all at once. The damage accumulates slowly over time, making movement harder and more painful as the years pass. If you're struggling with heavy, aching, or swollen legs, it's time to take a closer look at the fruits on your plate. Bananas may not be the friendly ally they seem. And if something as small and innocent looking as a banana can cause this much harm, imagine what's coming next. The third fruit, grapes. Grapes, little fruit, significant inflammatory effect. Grapes may appear naive, tiny, juicy, and simple to eat as a snack. They also have a stellar reputation for being heart healthy, packed with antioxidants. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Elderly people may experience mild leg pain, stiffness, and inflammation when they eat grapes. Why? Because grapes contain fructose, a substance that can be harmful in high concentrations. It's a sugar that is directly absorbed by the liver and becomes fat and uric acid when your liver is unable to handle it completely. The actual harm begins then, particularly in the toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid accumulates in the joints, causing intermittent burning and swelling. That nagging pain can make even light walking difficult. Have you ever had that piercing pain in your big toe at night? That unexpected stiffness in your calves? It may be something as minor as a handful of grapes causing your uric acid to rise. Furthermore, it doesn't end there. Your body's chronic inflammation is also fueled by fructose. This entails slower movement, increased pressure, and stiffness. Grapes are also far too simple to overindulge in. They are small enough to nibble on, not hefty. Before you realize it though, you've consumed 2 or 3 cups. Additionally, the sugar quickly accumulates. Therefore, even while grapes may appear to be a nutritious snack, they may subtly weaken your flexibility and make your legs less comfortable as you age. Now you know what can be hidden behind that sweetness if you've been eating grapes on a regular basis and have been experiencing increasing stiffness and swelling. The 4th fruit, watermelon. Watermelon, the bogus hydrator. Watermelon is light, revitalizing, and a representation of hydration and summer. Is it possible that this watery fruit is subtly damaging your legs? Isn't that odd, since everyone agrees that watermelon is a good way to stay hydrated? It feels safe, has few calories, and is primarily water. Here's the secret though. The glycemic index is extremely high for watermelon. This indicates that it quickly raises blood sugar levels, much like candy. Additionally, seniors suffer significant harm from those frequent sugar spikes, particularly to their legs. Let's dissect it. Your body releases insulin when your blood sugar levels rise rapidly. However, insulin is poorly regulated in aging bodies, which results in inflammation, particularly in places with inadequate circulation. Where does it appear? Your calves, your ankles, your knees. Leg tiredness may occur immediately after eating. A dull discomfort when taking quick strolls. That weird persistent swelling around your ankles. Stair climbing begins to resemble ascending a mountain. Watermelon has a light texture on the inside, though it acts like a charming trap, gently wearing down your legs. Most people eat a lot of it since it's juicy and refreshing. A single slice becomes 2, then 3, and more sugar means more stress, more inflammation. It's misleading. You believe you're drinking water. Your blood sugar is spiking instead. Your circulation is having trouble, and your legs are suffering as a result. Does watermelon actually help seniors stay hydrated, or does each mouthful subtly increase the discomfort of movement? It may be time to reconsider if the watermelon on your plate is erratic and your legs have been feeling more exhausted lately. The 5th fruit, oranges, the attack of acid on joints. Oranges are intelligent, have a new scent, and they're everywhere. Juices, health supplements, and breakfast platters. They are said to increase immunity because of vitamin C. However, oranges may be concealing an unpleasant reality for elders, particularly those over 60. Acid, which your joints dislike, is behind that citrus glow. Citrus is abundant in oranges. Even though that might seem normal, it can cause quiet joint irritation, particularly if your body is already battling inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. When you wake up, you may experience gradual stiffness in your knees, persistent hip pain, or that uncomfortable sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, decreased mobility, and increased swelling. You might assume it's simply aging. However, that healthy practice of drinking orange juice every morning can be contributing to the very pain you're trying to prevent. This is what actually happens. Orange's citric acid has effects beyond the stomach. It gets into your bloodstream and can exacerbate your joint's delicate tissues. Additionally, it causes blood sugar fluctuations when mixed with the fruit's natural sugar. And what's the result of that? Inflammation throughout the body. Every step seems a little heavier and more painful due to inflammation that spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves. You see, oranges may not be harmful to a younger individual, but the effect develops subtly in an elderly person with aging joints and slower circulation. The most difficult part is that you're doing it with the belief that you're benefiting yourself, since oranges have long been associated with wellness. However, you are now aware that they could not be good for your health. The sixth fruit, green apples. Green apples, a secret cause of leg pain. They appear crisp, clean, and organic. Additionally, most individuals, especially seniors, believe they are the healthier option because they taste less sweet. It seems like a healthy, low-sugar snack. However, most people are unaware of this. Green apples might subtly cause weariness, stiffness, and leg pain. Malic acid and hidden natural sugar are the two things that pose a threat. First, let's discuss malic acid. Green apples get their sour flavor from this acid, and it can be unpleasant for aging digestion. Even though it's great for youthful individuals, our gut lining becomes more sensitive with age. Additionally, malic acid can irritate tissues, including joints, once it enters the body. After eating apples, some elderly people experience severe hip or thigh pain. Others feel a mild heat in their feet or a tightness in their knees. It takes time to occur, but as time passes, the acid accumulates and the pain increases in frequency. Let's now discuss the sugar. Green apples still contain natural sugars, even if they don't taste as sweet as red apples. That sugar causes blood sugar fluctuations in elderly people with slower metabolisms. Your calves may feel tired, your legs may cramp at night, or you may experience stiffness in the morning. You might even feel weak when ascending stairs. The most challenging aspect is that green apples are frequently consumed uncooked as a snack or even right before bed. As a result, the body is constantly affected by them. They appear very healthy and pure, but green apples may be subtly making it harder to walk, stiffening joints, and making evenings more restless for aging bodies. The seventh fruit, mango, the true sugar bomb. Mango is juicy, soft, and candy-like. Nearly everyone likes this fruit, particularly during the summer months. Here's the truth though. Mango may be the most harmful fruit for elderly people who have joint weakness and leg pain. Why? Because it contains a lot of natural sugar. I don't mean a little. I'm talking about a significant sugar punch that will cause your blood sugar to rise sharply and quickly. Now, your body can often handle that rise if you're active and under 30. However, your metabolism changes after the age of 60. An insulin spike and subsequent crash are caused by that sugar rush, and each time this occurs, your body produces inflammation deep within your joints, particularly in the soft tissues surrounding your ankles, hips, and knees. If you have nerve problems, you can experience a burning sensation in your toes, a tingling sensation that won't go away, swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping heaviness in your legs. Because mango tastes light, feels fresh, and doesn't seem like a big meal, it's simple to consume in greater portions. But doing so makes it worse. That sugar causes your body to react, and over time, it may cause joint pain, sluggish walking, and unsteady legs. Many elderly people consume mangoes because they think they're a natural delight. It is natural too. However, natural does not always equate to safety for weaker circulation and aging joints. Therapeutic alternatives. What elders should eat in its place. Now that you are aware of which fruits to avoid, let's talk about what you can eat instead. Eating the appropriate fruits doesn't just satisfy your hunger, they heal your body. First, let's talk about berries. Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, etc. These little fruits are potent anti-inflammatory agents. They are mild on your blood sugar, high in antioxidants, and low in sugar. Above all, they increase circulation, particularly in the legs. They promote easier mobility, combat stiffness, and lessen edema. Cherries are next, but sparingly. Cherries can help reduce uric acid, which reduces the likelihood of gout and joint pain flare-ups. They relieve sore joints and the burning sensation in your knees or toes. A handful of cherries, not a bunch, can provide significant relief. The avocado comes next. It's a fruit indeed, and it's among the greatest for healthy joints. Why? Because it has a lot of good fats that reduce inflammation inside your body and cushion your joints. Additionally, it aids in insulin regulation, providing steady energy without blood sugar fluctuations. Are you trying to find something easy to digest? Try papaya. Enzymes found in this tender tropical fruit help reduce inflammation and facilitate digestion. It's easy on aging joints and mild on the stomach. Remember to eat pears with a small amount of fiber or protein. They provide a subtle sweetness without being overly sweet. They provide energy to your body without putting undue strain on your legs. Instead of working against your body, each of these fruits supports it. They don't cause discomfort. They don't make you swell. They help your body achieve the vigor, equilibrium, and serenity it seeks. It's not just about eating fruit. Remember, it all comes down to picking the appropriate ones for your age, fruits that are appropriate for your body right now. And you begin to sense it when you consciously make those decisions. Firmer steps, calmer motions, and clearer mornings. Closing remarks, words of wisdom, and a message specifically for you. One thing informs me, if you've read this far, you are concerned about your future, your strength, and your health. And I want you to clearly hear this. It's not too late for you to change. You still have time to recover, and you're not the only one who has this. Getting older is difficult. The pain, stiffness, and fear of falling come gradually. They can occasionally give you the impression that your body is vanishing. Here's the reality though. You can take charge by making sensible, modest adjustments rather than taking extreme measures. One meal, one fruit, one decision at a time. Although the fruits we discussed today aren't harmful, they might no longer be the best for your health. And that's all right, because growing older doesn't mean giving up. It's about being more intelligent. You'll notice a difference when you start eating mindfully and select meals that promote strength, circulation, and joints. Less discomfort, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter steps. That's the point of this charity, not fear or limitation. I'd like to hear from you now. Tell us what you learned today and what change you're prepared to make in the comments section below. Since we all grow when we share, let's help one another. Please hit the like button if this video was helpful to you or if it even slightly opened your eyes. Click subscribe to ensure you don't overlook any information that could alter your health. Turn on the bell before you leave. Please input 1 if this video was useful. If not, type 0 point. You may not realize how important your comment is. Remain resilient and observant, and never forget that your independence is carried by your legs,